If you read just one book this year, make it this one. Most people spend years making mistakes that could be completely avoided in just 10 minutes. In this video, we're unlocking the core lessons from The Metabolic Approach to Cancer by Nasha Winters, Jess Higgins, Kelley. Every single day, your body creates up to 1,000 cancer cells. Not might. Does. And yet most people never get cancer because something inside them is keeping those cells in check. So when someone is diagnosed, the real question isn't, why me? It's, what changed? That's the entire premise behind a groundbreaking book that flips the conventional cancer conversation on its head. Cancer isn't just bad luck or broken genes. It's a metabolic disease, rooted in damaged mitochondria, and it's deeply, powerfully influenced by what you eat, how you live, and how you think. This isn't fringe wellness talk. It's built on nearly a century of overlooked science, starting with a Nobel Prize winner named Otto Warburg, who discovered that cancer cells feed differently than healthy cells. They ferment sugar for fuel, even when oxygen is available. That single insight opens the door to one of the most actionable, food-based approaches to fighting and preventing cancer ever assembled. Let's break down what this book actually teaches, because it's not about miracle cures. It's about rebuilding the terrain your cells live in, so cancer simply can't thrive there anymore. Lesson 1. Stop treating the tumor, start treating the terrain. Western medicine obsesses over the tumor, cut it, burn it, poison it. But this book argues that's like mowing a weed instead of fixing the soil it grows in. The weed comes back, angrier, more resistant. The authors identify 10 interconnected systems in your body: genetics, blood sugar, toxin load, microbiome, immune function, inflammation, blood vessel growth, hormones, stress rhythms, and emotional health, calling them the terrain 10. When these systems are imbalanced, they create the exact conditions cancer needs to survive: chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and damaged mitochondria. The radical shift here is understanding that only 5 to 10% of cancers are truly caused by inherited genetic mutations. The other 90 to 95% stem from lifestyle and environment, meaning they're largely within your control. This isn't about blame. It's about power. If diet and toxins created imbalance, diet and detoxification can restore it. That reframe alone changes everything about how you'd approach prevention. Lesson 2. Sugar is cancer's favorite food, literally. Here's the science that should make you rethink your pantry. Cancer cells consume glucose up to 50 times faster than healthy cells. This is why PET scans work. They inject radioactive sugar, and tumors light up because they're gorging on it. The book's central dietary weapon against this is the ketogenic diet: high fat, moderate protein, minimal carbohydrates. When you strip glucose from your system, your liver starts producing ketones from fat instead. And here's the key detail: healthy cells can adapt and burn ketones for fuel, but cancer cells, with their damaged mitochondria, often can't. You're not starving your whole body. You're selectively starving the disease. The book walks through the mechanics of insulin and IGF-1, two hormones that spike with sugar intake and directly fuel tumor growth, suppress apoptosis, the process where damaged cells are supposed to self-destruct, and promote metastasis. It's not just white sugar either. The book dismantles myths around healthy swaps like agave nectar, which turns out to be even higher in fructose than high-fructose corn syrup. The takeaway is uncomfortable but clear. If you're metabolically feeding a fire while trying to treat cancer with everything else, you're working against yourself. Lesson 3. Your environment is quietly sabotaging you. This is where the book gets genuinely unsettling. Since World War II, over 80,000 new synthetic chemicals have entered daily use, and fewer than 5% have ever been tested for safety. You're absorbing carcinogens through your skin from lotions, inhaling them from air fresheners, ingesting them from pesticide-laden produce. The book details how even seemingly harmless routines, a hot shower, laundry detergent, sunscreen, introduce hormone-disrupting chemicals called xenoestrogens that mimic estrogen in your body and fuel hormone-sensitive cancers like breast and prostate cancer. What's most striking is the data on commercial meat and dairy. American beef has been found to contain up to 600 times more estrogen than beef raised in countries that ban growth hormones. The book doesn't ask you to become paranoid. It asks you to become informed. Small, sequential swaps, organic produce when possible, glass instead of plastic, fragrance-free cleaning products, filtered water. And crucially, it champions fasting and sweating, through sauna use or vigorous exercise, as ancient, free, and remarkably effective detox tools your body already knows how to use. Fasting in particular gets serious attention here, shown to reduce chemotherapy side effects, regenerate immune cells, and even lower IGF-1 levels dramatically within just a few days. Lesson 4. Your gut bacteria are running the show more than you think. The book spends serious time on something most cancer conversations ignore entirely, the microbiome. You have roughly 10 times more bacterial cells than human cells in your body, and these microbes don't just aid digestion. They train your immune system, produce essential vitamins, and directly influence whether estrogen gets properly metabolized or recirculated dangerously through your bloodstream. Modern life is a microbiome massacre. Antibiotics, C-sections, processed food, chlorinated water, and antibacterial soap have all contributed to a mass extinction of the bacterial diversity our ancestors carried. The fix isn't complicated, even if it sounds unusual. Eat fermented foods, get your hands in soil, stop over-sanitizing everything, and flood your gut with fiber, since bacteria feed on it and produce compounds like butyric acid that directly protect against colon cancer. This lesson reframes hygiene itself. Being too clean might be part of the problem. Lesson 5. Chronic stress is a carcinogen you can't see. This might be the most overlooked insight in the entire book. Stress isn't just uncomfortable, it's biologically identical in effect to eating sugar or breathing in toxins. When cortisol stays elevated for too long, it suppresses natural killer cell activity, your immune system's frontline cancer fighters, by up to 50%. It also spikes blood sugar and actively promotes the spread of cancer through the body. The book connects this to modern light pollution too. Constant screen exposure suppresses melatonin, a hormone that isn't just about sleep, it's a potent antioxidant that fights tumor growth directly. Simple, ancient rhythms get championed as medicine here: eating within daylight hours, getting real sunlight exposure, sleeping in true darkness, and consuming adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha and rhodiola to support exhausted adrenal glands. Lesson 6. Your mind is not separate from your biology. The final and perhaps most human lesson is this: unresolved emotional pain doesn't just sit quietly in your memory. It changes gene expression, alters gut bacteria, and can chronically activate the same stress pathways that feed disease. The book doesn't claim negative thinking causes cancer, but it makes a compelling case that unprocessed grief, suppressed anger, and chronic self-neglect create a biological environment where healing struggles to take hold. The prescription here isn't complicated: connection, purpose, therapy, and simply allowing yourself to feel and express emotion rather than swallow it. Put together, this isn't a book promising a miracle cure. It's a map back to balance, showing that the body, given the right terrain, has an extraordinary capacity to heal itself. And that's a message worth remembering, whether you're facing a diagnosis or simply trying to make sure you never do. If this summary saved you hours of reading and gave you real value, hit the subscribe button right now. Leave a comment below letting us know which book you want to see next. And if you want to keep growing your mind, click the video appearing on your screen right now. See you in the next 10 minutes.